I don't have much of an ear for music.
You don't need an ear, just a knee.
Hey! Oh, Gilligan, you're wonderful.
Are you sure you know everything about Gilligan's Island? In fact, there are still many hidden secrets that audiences have never witnessed, including scenes that have been permanently erased. Premiering in 1964, Gilligan's Island quickly became one of the most famous sitcoms on American television. The show humorously tells the story of a group of people who survive a shipwreck and live together on a deserted island. With unforgettable characters like the clumsy Gilligan, the sweet Mary Ann, the intelligent professor, and the wealthy Mr. Howell, the series won the hearts of audiences during its three-season run. However, behind the laughter lies a world of dramatic behind-the-scenes events. Scenes were cut for being too sensitive. Episodes were cancelled due to controversial content, and intense conflicts between producers and the creative team turned the show into a legend full of untold mysteries. Not only that, many bold ideas were planned but never executed, adding to the enigmatic allure of Gilligan's Island. These behind-the-scenes stories, from censorship decisions to internal disputes, continue to intrigue fans and fuel their desire to uncover more. Let's pull back the curtain on Gilligan's Island and discover the secrets that have never been revealed. This is a journey you definitely don't want to miss. Behind-the-scenes secrets, deadly dangers. Let's begin this journey of discovery by uncovering the truth about the risks that once threatened the cast of Gilligan's Island. The artificial lagoon, a prominent feature in the show's scenes, turned out to harbour frightening dangers that not everyone knew about. To maintain its crystal-clear appearance, the lagoon water was treated with harmful chemicals. Unfortunately, these very chemicals caused serious health issues for the cast members. Bob Denver, Gilligan, and Natalie Schafer, Mrs. Howell, were among the most severely affected, as they frequently suffered from severe skin rashes. Additionally, other cast members reported symptoms such as allergies, itching, and difficulty breathing. Initially, the film crew dismissed these issues, but as the symptoms persisted, they were forced to investigate. The area was later classified by the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, as being heavily polluted due to toxic chemicals accumulating in the soil. Not only that, when the lagoon area was filled in after the show ended, pieces of props were discovered buried there, including parts of the iconic SS Minnow ship. This led many to wonder, was this merely a coincidence, or was it some strange curse tied to the show? The lagoon wasn't the only strange thing linked to Gilligan's Island. CBS Studio Center, where most of the scenes were filmed, was also shrouded in an eerie legend about the ghost of a ship. According to staff, the silhouette of this ship often appeared hovering over the lagoon on full moon nights. This legend is tied to the tragic death of a worker in 1964 who was killed during the construction of the lagoon. Some security footage even captured blurry images of the ship, further adding to the mystery. Is this simply a product of imagination, or is it a lingering trace of an unresolved past? It wasn't just the lagoon. Even seemingly harmless scenes were filled with hidden dangers. Bob Denver once nearly lost his life while filming a scene where Gilligan was trapped in artificial quicksand. The crew had miscalculated the mixture, making the quicksand much thicker than intended. Denver was quickly submerged deeper than the safety threshold, and the entire film crew had to scramble for several tense minutes to pull him out. After this incident, they decided to replace the quicksand with oatmeal mixed with water to ensure safety. But ask yourself, if it were you, would you dare step into quicksand again, knowing it could be the last scene of your life? The deserted island setting of Gilligan's Island, where the characters struggled to survive, was actually nothing more than a cleverly crafted illusion. Most of the scenes were filmed on a Hollywood set, complete with fake palm trees and a hand-painted horizon. Only a few wide shots were filmed on location in Kauai, Hawaii, to add a sense of realism. Budget constraints forced the crew to maximize their creativity, transforming the set into a vibrant island. But if the show had been filmed entirely in Hawaii, would the sense of realism have been greater? Or would the production costs have sunk the SS Minnow before it even set sail? Do you think this was the right decision by the production team? 2. Shocking secrets about the cast behind the scenes. While viewers were captivated by the humorous and goofy situations on Gilligan's Island, behind the camera, the cast faced numerous challenges and fascinating stories that few people know about. Filming in the studio was not always a pleasant experience. The stifling atmosphere, scorching lights, and strict demands from the director occasionally left the actors exhausted. However, their humour and camaraderie became their greatest motivation, helping them overcome every challenge. Natalie Schafer, who played Mrs. Howell, was a classy lady both on and off screen. She always knew how to use her fame to her advantage. A funny story recalls that when her telephone broke, instead of waiting hours like everyone else, she introduced herself as Mrs. Howell and immediately received priority service. This shows the unexpected influence a fictional character can have on real life. Not everyone recognizes a golden opportunity when it presents itself. Jerry Van Dyke, the brother of the legendary Dick Van Dyke, once turned down the role of Gilligan to pursue another project. Unfortunately, that project was a massive failure, and Jerry later regretted missing the chance to join an iconic series. A similar story happened with Carroll O'Connor, who later became famous for his role as Archie Bunker in All in the Family. He auditioned for the role of Skipper but wasn't selected. If Jerry and Carroll had taken those roles, Gilligan's Island could have had a completely different tone. But would the show have been as successful without Bob Denver and Alan Hale Jr. as Gilligan and Skipper? Bob Denver initially hesitated to accept the role of Gilligan. While he enjoyed physical comedy and found the character interesting, he was reluctant to sign the contract. In contrast, Tina Louise, who played Ginger, joined the project with the expectation that she would be the central focus of the show. When she realised Gilligan's Island was an ensemble story, she felt disappointed and deceived. Despite her dissatisfaction, Tina remained professional and delivered a memorable performance as Ginger. The personal lives of the cast were also full of intriguing stories. Natalie Schafer, admired for her elegant appearance, kept her true age a secret throughout the filming. It wasn't until after her death that the public discovered she was much older than everyone had believed. Dawn Wells, who played Mary Ann, the sweet and beloved country girl, was the only cast member to receive syndication royalties. This was a rarity at the time, as most actors did not benefit financially from reruns. These behind-the-scenes stories not only deepen the audience's love for Gilligan's Island, but also make the series more unforgettable than ever. 3. Strange and unrevealed behind-the-scenes mysteries. Initially, the theme song for Gilligan's Island was not as complete as the version we know today. In its first iteration, the lyrics only mentioned 5 main characters: Gilligan, Skipper, Ginger, and the Howell couple. The Professor and Mary Ann were lumped together in a vague phrase, the rest. This omission not only puzzled the audience but also caused dissatisfaction among the cast. Bob Denver, who played Gilligan, took it upon himself to advocate for the producers to revise the theme song to include all the characters' names. Thanks to his persistence, starting from the second season, the Professor and Mary Ann were formally included in the opening credits. This small but meaningful gesture created fairness and strengthened the bond among the cast. An interesting, lesser-known fact is that Bob Denver, who played Gilligan, actually has a connection to American history. The city of Denver, the capital of Colorado, was named after his ancestor. While this has no direct link to the character of Gilligan, the coincidence adds a fun anecdote for fans of the talented actor. 4. Deleted scenes and cancelled episodes. One of the most regrettable secrets for fans is the existence of an unaired episode that depicted the characters finally being rescued from the island and returning to modern life. At first glance, this seems like the perfect ending, but the content of the episode was far darker than anything audiences had ever seen. In the story, Mr. Howell, the wealthiest member of the group, unexpectedly goes bankrupt due to failed investments. Mary Ann, the cheerful and optimistic girl, falls into depression because she is unable to adjust to the pressures of modern society. Meanwhile, Gilligan, the clumsy troublemaker, becomes a motivational speaker, but his lack of knowledge turns his career into a joke. CBS decided not to air this episode, fearing that the overly grim ending would provoke negative reactions from viewers. The episode was archived and has never been released, leaving fans and the production team with lingering regret. Another notable but never aired scene involved a romantic moment between Mary Ann and the Professor in episode 67. In this scene, the two share a gentle kiss by the lagoon, creating a rare romantic atmosphere in the series. However, CBS deemed the scene inappropriate for children who made up the show's primary audience and decided to cut it. Instead, the scene was replaced with a lighter moment where Mary Ann and the Professor blow kisses to each other from a distance. Had the original scene been kept, it would not only have highlighted the potential relationship between the two characters, but also added more depth to the story. A particularly humorous but discarded scene involved a dream sequence where the characters appeared in flesh-coloured clothing, giving the impression that they were naked. Although the scene was intended to be harmless comedy, CBS opted to remove it to avoid controversy, especially with parents. Additionally, a full episode was scrapped entirely due to its sensitive subject matter. The plot revolved around Gilligan accidentally discovering a cannabis plant growing on the island. Unaware of what it was, he planned to use it to make rope for their raft. The story was written with comedic intent, but sponsors immediately objected. They threatened to pull funding if the episode aired, as cannabis was a taboo topic at the time. These deleted scenes and cancelled episodes not only reflect the strict censorship of 1960s American television, but also highlight the challenges the production team faced in trying to push creative boundaries. Though they were cut from the show, each story offers a fresh perspective on Gilligan's Island, making the series more than just a light-hearted sitcom, but also a fascinating piece of television history. Gilligan's Island is not just a humorous sitcom, but also a cherished memory for generations of viewers, becoming a timeless symbol of American television. The behind-the-scenes stories, intriguing secrets, and censored scenes have only added to the show's allure and mystique. These elements have helped Gilligan's Island transcend the boundaries of a mere entertainment program to become an enduring cultural phenomenon. What do you think of the deleted scenes? If they had been aired, would they have changed how you perceive the show? In your opinion, what made Gilligan's Island such an iconic series for its audience? And do you know of any other sitcoms that face similar censorship challenges? Stay tuned for more behind-the-scenes stories to uncover secrets that have never been told. Thank you for reading. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on more fascinating stories. See you in the next article.